It feels like one of the best kept secrets in gaming. The Nintendo DS port of the original Resident Evil has a multiplayer mode.
You've been talking for 5 seconds and already I grow tired of you, Chris in color.
So anyway, Resident Evil Deadly Silence is a 2006 port for the Nintendo DS of the original Resident Evil, the one that started it all. But by that time, we'd already seen the complete remake of the game on the GameCube, and the series had been ushered into a new era with Resident Evil 4. Because of this, Resident Evil DS didn't get a ton of attention at the time, but it has some interesting features and a multiplayer mode that make it one of the best ways to play the game today. In addition to some quality of life features like the quick turn, skippable cutscenes.
I wish your channel had skippable cutscenes. Whatever.
And a knife button like Resident Evil 4. You can connect up to 4 DS consoles to play with friends, or enemies, whatever. The Nintendo DS doesn't judge. We'd already seen the franchise dip its toes into online multiplayer with 2003's Resident Evil Outbreak. But instead, this game has local multiplayer, as in you have to be in the same room. To play multiplayer, you need the following: at least 2 Nintendo DS consoles, check. At least 2 copies of the game, check. 1 or more friends in the immediate vicinity. Shit. The setup is pretty easy. Right from the main menu, you choose multi-card play and either find a game that somebody's already started, or you can create a new room. There's 3 levels in the multiplayer: Mansion, Guardhouse, and the Lab. The Guardhouse and Lab are pretty much those whole sections from the main game, while the Mansion is just the east wing starting from the shed where you find the crank. One of the things I love about this is that there's 9 characters to choose from. All of the STARS members from the story are here. Chris and Jill are unlocked from the start, and you'll need to set aside an afternoon or 3 to unlock the rest. You unlock Forrest and Barry by beating the classic and rebirth modes as Jill. Kenneth and Rebecca are unlocked by doing the same, but with Chris. Richard is unlocked by finishing a match in each of the 3 levels in Versus mode, and Enrico by doing the same in co-op mode. Wesker is unlocked by reaching a B rank or higher in the Masters of Knifing minigame.
I wouldn't subscribe if you were the last channel on Earth.
But here's the catch. You're the only one who can see your character model. Everyone else sees you as a basic 3D shape. That's not a bad insult, actually. You're a basic 3D shape. You know what? Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite basic 3D shape is.
My name is Albert Weskstar. Ugh, can't believe I just said that. I don't do puns. You suck, Chris in color. I hate you more than I hate the other Chris.
Alright, Wesker, I think we get the point. The goal in co-op mode is to work with your teammates to reach the end of the level and defeat the final boss. There's lots of zombies and other monsters along the way, as well as weapons and ammo to pick up. You have 15 minutes to beat each level, which is more than enough time.
15 minutes? You know I can't spare that.
Loose items like ammo and herbs don't disappear when one player picks them up, so everyone can use them without feeling greedy. But you'll find these blue boxes laying around, and they can only be opened by one person. The regular item boxes are shared, so if someone takes the first aid spray, for example, it's gone for the other player. You can also use the item boxes to drop items for other players. All the players in the match share the same health, so if one player dies, everyone else dies too. Also, the enemies' movements aren't synced up with the other player's screens, but their health is. In other words, enemies will go after you as if you're the only person in the room, but when you shoot them, they take damage in everyone's room. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it makes the game feel slightly less connected, but I assume this was either a limitation of the AI in the first Resident Evil, or a limitation in the bandwidth of the Nintendo DS Wi-Fi. You'll also run into these flashing red enemies in some rooms, which lets you know that that enemy is faster and stronger.
You wish you were as fast and strong as me.
Each level has at least one room that uses the touch controls like the rebirth mode in the game. You have to either swipe or tap the screen to hit the monsters with your knife. I hate it. It's not bad for zombies, but if you get dogs or hunters, your timing has to be absolutely perfect. You might as well use the stylus to draw a little F in the chat. Versus mode is very similar, and as the name suggests, you're now competing against your friends, or enemies. Some of the items are laid out in different places, but the biggest change is that a few of the enemies are color-coded. Defeating a yellow enemy makes the other player's enemies become stronger. Killing a purple enemy slows the other players down and keeps them from being able to run. The winner of the Versus mode is determined by a point ranking system. You get points by finishing the level quickly, killing enemies, and not using healing items. The multiplayer modes in Resident Evil DS aren't anywhere near as elaborate as what we've seen in Resident Evil Outbreak, but they're a fun way to revisit the old Spencer Mansion yet again. I'd love to see Capcom re-release the original Resident Evil on modern platforms, including all the bonus modes like this one and the battle mode from the Saturn version. But for now, I'll be hanging out with my DS open, waiting for someone to walk by and join the lobby. I have to give a special shout out to DC Douglas, the amazingly talented voice actor of Albert Wesker since 2007. Thank you for being so passionate about Resident Evil and caring so much about the fans.